Hey everyone, welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're going to be looking at AI for social good.
Yeah, these projects using like really cool tech to try to solve the world's biggest problems.
We got research papers, community forum discussions, even a little look at what Amazon's working on.
It's really wild how much is going on in this space.
I know, right?
Healthcare, education, accessibility.
AI is everywhere.
It really is.
And for this deep dive, we really wanted to focus on those projects that have a ton of potential.
Yeah, those hidden gems.
Exactly, that maybe haven't really made it to the mainstream just yet, but could have a huge impact.
Definitely. And we found 5 that we think are really fascinating.
Ooh, I'm excited.
So let's kick things off with something that really caught my eye. It's called decentralized pre-training,
Okay,
and it's coming out of the Nous research AI community.
interesting.
And it basically challenges the way that we usually develop AI.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Break it down for us. What does decentralized even mean when we're talking about AI?
So usually to train a large language model, you need a ton of computing power, right? Like massive data centers,
Yeah.
which are often owned by big tech companies.
Makes sense.
But with decentralized pre-training, that workload is spread across a network of volunteer computers.
So instead of one giant brain, it's more like a network of smaller brains all working together.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And the cool thing is it seems to be working.
Really?
Yeah, Nous research used their system called DisTrO.
Okay.
And they got hardware support from partners like Oracle and Lambda Labs.
Wow.
And they actually trained a model with 15 billion parameters.
15 billion. That's a lot of parameters.
Yeah.
How did it perform compared to the usual centralized approach?
Well, they looked at something called a loss curve, which basically tells you how well the model is learning.
Right.
And the results were pretty impressive. The decentralized model was matching, or in some cases even beating, what we see with the centralized training.
Wow, so this could really shake things up in the AI world.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see as the biggest implications here?
Well, think about it. If we can train these powerful AI models without needing those huge, expensive data centers,
Yeah.
it opens up a whole new world of possibilities. Smaller organizations, researchers, even individuals could potentially contribute to AI development.
Like democratizing AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
Taking it out of the hands of a few and making it accessible to many.
Exactly. And the best part is Nous research isn't keeping this to themselves.
Oh, that's great.
They're planning to release a public registry and tutorials so that more people can get involved.
It's fantastic.
Oh.
Okay, so we've got AI development becoming more accessible. What's next on our list of world-changing projects?
Let's switch gears to global health research.
Okay.
It might not sound as flashy as some of the other stuff we're talking about,
Sure.
but trust me, this one has huge implications. Have you ever heard of the Harmony Project?
Honestly, I haven't. What's their focus?
They're tackling something called questionnaire harmonization.
Okay.
Basically, researchers all over the world are constantly conducting these health studies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they use questionnaires to gather data.
Makes sense.
But the problem is, even if the questionnaires are trying to measure the same thing, they're often worded or structured a little bit differently.
Oh, I see where this is going. Trying to compare data from all those different questionnaires must be a nightmare.
It is, and it slows down research progress. That's where Harmony comes in.
Okay.
They're using AI and natural language processing to analyze these questionnaires
Interesting.
and identify those subtle differences in wording or structure.
Okay.
Then they can suggest ways to harmonize the items, making them comparable across studies.
So it's like creating a universal language for health research.
Yeah.
That could really change the game when it comes to tracking global health trends or understanding disease outbreaks.
Exactly. By making this data more comparable, we can potentially get a much clearer picture of what's happening with global health, and that could lead to more effective interventions and treatments.
Okay, so we've got decentralized AI training and harmonized health data. What else is out there pushing the boundaries of what's possible?
Let's dive into the world of text-to-video generation.
Oh, cool.
Something that's been generating a lot of buzz lately.
Yeah.
We've got models that can create entire videos from simple text prompts.
It's crazy.
And the results are pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah, I've seen some of those demos. It's like something straight out of science fiction.
Yeah.
Are there any particular models that have caught your eye?
There are a few, but one that stands out is Hunyuan-video developed by Tencent.
Okay.
And here's the really exciting part. They've made it open source.
Wait, open source. That's a big deal, right?
It means Anyone can access the code, modify it, contribute to its development.
Wow.
Traditionally, a lot of these cutting-edge models have been kept under wraps by big companies.
Right.
So this move by Tencent is a huge step forward for transparency and collaboration in the AI world.
It's like they're saying, hey, let's all work together to make this technology even better.
Yeah.
I love that approach, but open sourcing aside, how does Hunyuan-video actually perform? Is it any good?
From what we've seen, it's quite impressive. People are saying it outperforms some of the leading closed source models in text-to-video generation.
Wow.
And the output quality is remarkable. It can even generate audio to go along with the video.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Are there any downsides?
Well, like many of these advanced AI models, Hunyuan-video needs a lot of computing power to run.
Okay.
You're talking about over 60 GBIs of GPU memory for a high-resolution video with a decent number of frames.
So not exactly something I can run on my old laptop.
Probably not yet, but technology is always evolving as hardware improves, and these models become more efficient. We can expect to see more accessible versions in the future.
I'll be keeping an eye out for that. Okay, we've covered some pretty impressive projects so far. What's next on our deep dive agenda?
Let's shift our focus to the world of finance.
Okay.
It's a complex domain, often filled with jargon and dense data.
Yeah, definitely.
But AI is starting to make it more accessible. We came across a fascinating example from the Llama Index community, where someone used NVIDIA's financial statements as data for their language model.
So they were feeding real-world financial information into the AI. What kind of things were they able to do with it?
They were able to do everything from simple lookups,
Yeah.
like, finding specific revenue figures,
Right.
to more complex analyses, like assessing business risks and evaluating the performance of different segments.
That's incredible. So instead of poring over pages and pages of financial statements, you could essentially ask the AI questions and get clear, concise answers.
That's the idea, and this approach isn't limited to NVIDIA's statements. Imagine being able to quickly analyze the financial health of any company, organization, or even a whole country using this type of AI-powered tool.
That would be incredibly powerful, especially for investors, researchers, policymakers, anyone who needs to understand complex financial data.
Absolutely. It could really democratize access to financial information.
Okay, so we've got AI democratizing finance, and before that we talked about AI democratizing development itself. There seems to be a theme here. What's our final standout project for today?
Let's talk about accessibility for developers.
Okay.
Specifically, recent developments in Llama Index and Llama Cloud have made it much easier to build and deploy AI applications on Vercel.
Now, for those who aren't familiar, Vercel is a popular platform for hosting websites and web applications. So this integration sounds like a big deal for developers who are working with AI.
It is before these integrations. Getting AI applications up and running on Vercel was a pretty complicated process, but now it's much smoother and more intuitive.
So it's taking away some of the technical headaches and letting developers focus on what they do best, building innovative applications.
Exactly, and that's what we love to see, technical advancements that make these powerful tools more accessible to a wider range of people.
This has been quite a journey so far. We've seen decentralized AI training, global health data harmonization, text-to-video generation, AI tackling financial data, and now simplified AI deployment. It seems like just about every corner of the world is being touched by these advancements.
And we're just getting started. Stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive, where we'll explore even more inspiring projects and discover how AI is being used to make a positive impact in areas like accessibility, education, and creative expression. Welcome back to the deep dive. In part 1, we talked about some seriously groundbreaking projects.
Yeah, using AI to make a real difference in the world.
Right. We covered everything from decentralized AI development to tools that are making financial data so much easier to understand.
And it's really amazing to see how AI is breaking down barriers, creating more inclusive experiences.
Definitely what's up first today.
Well, let's talk about a project that's tackling a challenge that many of us just take for granted:
Okay.
accessing information online.
Right.
Specifically, this project is focused on making scientific research papers more accessible to people with visual impairments.
Yeah, that's an important issue.
Yeah, scientific knowledge should be available to everyone.
Absolutely, regardless of their abilities.
Exactly. So how are they tackling this?
We came across a discussion in the OpenAI community about a project that's using AI to convert scientific papers into audio formats,
Interesting.
specifically designed for people with visual impairments.
So it's not just about, like, basic text-to-speech.
Right.
It's got to be about creating an audio experience that really conveys the meaning and complexity of scientific research.
Exactly. The AI is being trained to understand the structure of scientific papers,
Sure.
identify those key findings,
Yeah,
and present the information in a way that's both informative and engaging.
that could be huge for researchers,
Right.
students, anyone who's passionate about science but might have trouble with traditional research papers.
Absolutely. And this project is part of a larger trend of using AI to make information more accessible in general.
Yeah,
We're seeing similar projects using AI to create captions and transcripts for videos, translate text into multiple languages, even generate those alternative text descriptions for images online.
it's amazing to think about how AI is making the online world more inclusive.
Oh.
Okay, for our next deep dive, let's talk about a project that's using AI to transform education,
Ooh,
especially for those who are learning to code.
coding's become such an essential skill,
It really has.
but it can be a steep learning curve for beginners.
Totally.
What did you find? Okay, so we came across this really fascinating discussion in the modular Discord server
Okay.
about a project that's using AI to provide personalized feedback and guidance to coding students.
Interesting. So instead of just giving generic hints or solutions,
Yeah.
the AI is actually tailoring its feedback to the individual student's needs and progress.
That's exactly it.
Wow.
The AI can analyze the student's code, identify errors or areas for improvement, and then provide specific suggestions and explanations
Okay.
that are relevant to their current understanding.
So it's like having a personal coding tutor available 24/7.
Right.
That's amazing. And think about the potential scale here.
Yeah.
This type of AI-powered tutoring could reach so many students, even those who might not have access to traditional coding classes or resources.
It really has the potential to democratize access to coding skills.
Absolutely, and empower a whole new generation of programmers. Speaking of empowering, our next project is all about the intersection of AI and creativity.
Oh, one of my favorite topics.
You?
AI's ability to generate music art, even poetry, is just mind-blowing.
It is what caught your eye in this area.
Well,
We've been following the development of image generation models.
yeah.
And one project that really stood out is from the Stability.ai community.
Okay.
They're using Stable Diffusion to create some truly unique and visually stunning artwork.
I've seen some of that output from Stable Diffusion. It's remarkable.
Yeah.
The level of detail, the artistic expression is incredible.
And what's interesting is that these AI-generated artworks aren't meant to replace human artists,
Right?
but rather to augment their creative process.
Yeah, give them new tools.
Exactly, and open up these new avenues for exploration.
It's like having a whole new set of tools and techniques pushing the boundaries of what's possible in the art world.
And speaking of pushing boundaries, this next project we found is doing something pretty incredible, using AI to create personalized educational videos for every student.
Personalized educational videos, that sounds incredibly ambitious.
It is.
How does that even work?
We came across a discussion in the Unsloth AI community
Okay.
about a project that's using AI to analyze a student's learning style, their pace, even their emotional state,
Wow.
to then generate videos tailored to their specific needs.
So instead of watching a generic video lecture, each student would essentially get a video that's designed to help them learn and understand the material in the best way possible.
Precisely. The AI can adjust the pacing, the visuals, the audio, even the content itself
Wow.
to create a truly personalized learning experience.
This could completely revolutionize education.
In a way.
Imagine a world where every student has access to a learning pathway that's tailored to their individual needs and helps them reach their full potential.
It's an exciting vision, and it's closer than you might think. This type of AI-powered personalization is already being used in some educational platforms. And as the technology continues to evolve, we can expect to see it become even more widespread.
I can't wait to see how it transforms education in the years to come. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground in this part.
We have.
From making scientific knowledge more accessible to creating these personalized learning experiences.
But there's one more area we need to explore.
Right.
AI-powered healthcare.
In our final part, we'll dive into how AI is changing the way we diagnose, treat, and prevent diseases.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. In the previous parts, we really dove deep into how AI is being used to make a positive impact.
Yeah, in so many different fields, it's amazing.
From making AI itself more accessible to making education more inclusive and personalized.
So many great examples.
It is really exciting to see AI being used for good.
Absolutely.
And for this final part of our deep dive, we're going to focus on an area where AI is already having a huge impact, healthcare.
Oh, yeah. AI is changing the way we diagnose, treat, and prevent diseases, and we've got some incredible breakthroughs to talk about.
I'm excited. Where do we start?
Well, let's talk about medical imaging.
Okay.
We came across a discussion in the Eleuther AI community
Okay.
about a project that's using AI to analyze medical images,
Right.
X-rays, MRIs, things like that.
Wow.
And the goal is to detect early signs of diseases like cancer.
Oh, wow. Early detection is so important.
It really is, especially for something as serious as cancer.
Yeah. How effective is AI in this role?
Well, it's proving to be incredibly effective.
Yeah.
These AI models are trained on huge data sets of medical images,
Okay.
and that allows them to spot subtle patterns and anomalies that might be missed by the human eye.
So it's like having a second set of eyes, but with superhuman vision.
That's a great way to put it. AI is providing doctors with this whole other layer of analysis, and the potential benefits are huge.
Yeah, I can imagine.
More accurate diagnoses can lead to earlier interventions, potentially saving lives.
That's incredible what other areas of healthcare are being transformed by AI.
Drug discovery is another big one.
Okay.
We found a discussion in the Cursor IDE community about a project that's using AI to identify potential drug candidates
Interesting.
for various diseases.
Drug discovery is such a complex and time-consuming process. How is AI helping to speed things up?
Well, traditional drug discovery often relies on trial and error,
Right.
which can take years and cost a fortune. But AI models can analyze massive amounts of data, the structure of molecules, their properties, how they interact with the human body.
So instead of just blindly testing thousands of compounds, researchers can use AI to narrow down the search and focus on the most promising candidates.
Exactly. AI is helping to accelerate the whole drug discovery process,
I know.
potentially bringing those life-saving treatments to patients much faster.
This is really incredible. It feels like we're on the cusp of like a new era in medicine.
It does.
What other advancements have you seen?
Well, beyond just developing new drugs, AI is also being used to personalize treatment plans.
Oh, wow. We saw a discussion in the Open Router community about a project that's using AI to analyze a patient's medical history,
Okay.
their genetic information, even their lifestyle choices.
Wow, so it's taking this holistic view of the patient
Yeah.
to recommend the most effective treatment and therapies.
That's the idea. AI is helping to move away from that one-size-fits-all approach to healthcare
Right.
and towards a more personalized model where treatments are tailored to each individual patient.
Makes sense. Every patient's different. Their treatment plan should reflect that it seems like AI is touching every aspect of healthcare, from diagnosis to treatment and everything in between.
It's truly remarkable, and like we've said before, this is really just the beginning.
It is.
As AI continues to evolve, we can expect even more groundbreaking advancements in healthcare.
Well, we've covered so much in this deep dive, from decentralized AI training to personalized education to these incredible advancements in healthcare. It's clear that AI has the potential to solve some of society's toughest problems.
So as we wrap up today, we encourage you to think about what really resonated with you. Which project sparked your imagination? What possibilities do you see for the future of AI for social good? Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.